Hey everybody, this is the team captain of Team by Winning. Uh, do a little etiquette video here because we've been going to our locals and just noticed some things. So this is going to be a Yu-Gi-Oh etiquette video. First thing I want to talk about is sanitation. Uh, First off, we play Yu-Gi-Oh, and since we play Yu-Gi-Oh, there are some stereotypes involved, like, the big, sweaty dude who doesn't shower often and stuff like that. That's not everybody. So just make sure the night before you go, or like the day before, the day you go, make sure you get a shower in and you're smelling all right, and you're not like, we live in Texas, so sweat is like acceptable here. If you're a little sweaty, that's okay because it's like 104 degrees outside every day in the summer, so you can't really get around that. Try not to go and be like all greased up and then like wear like dirty clothes and like not get your hair taken care of or something. Like brush that, do something. Um, Next thing I wanted to talk about was trading. Um, One of the members on my team has a problem with this. He likes to trade. He really does. And he likes to trade. And when he trades, he wants to get stuff that he wants. But other people see it first. And we had that problem the other day. He wanted a D prison. But they were trading. And the dude didn't see that D prison. And my teammate was holding on to it. And then when he saw it, he was like, hold on, you're hoarding all the good stuff. And then he's like, nah, man, I'm going to trade for this. I just want to say with trading, like, and I was on the other dude's side. I mean, I hate to say it, but, like, it happens. Sometimes you don't get there on time. Sometimes people get to things before you do. When it comes to trading, wait your turn. Wait your turn to look through binders because you never know. Something may be gone. He may need something from you. He may need something else. And don't interrupt other people's business deals because it's just a little bit unprofessional. If like somebody's trading and you go in and you're like, that's not worth that. That's worth more than that. I mean, that's kind of a douche move because they may be giving him something else, or you may not know the correct prices. Stuff like that. Also, always have a price guide. Like at our local, we have this one dude who just knows like all the prices of everything, so everybody just asks him. Usually we're pretty good when it comes to pricing, but always double check because you never want to shortchange yourself. Or with us, like me personally, I don't want to shortchange anybody else. I'll throw in extra stuff into a trade if I can if I can help somebody out. Later they'll help me out. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like I made a trade with this dude, and I was getting my secret cyber dragon that I got. I was trading with this dude, and he wanted one of my cards, and he's like, man, I don't know if this will cover the value." And I'm like, you know what? I saw he had a really, really raggedy binder. I'm talking like this thing had been torn to pieces. It looked like a dog had chewed on it, and like pages were falling out, and like he had good stuff in there too. Like, you have Thunder Kings, stuff like that, and like a lot of good stuff. And I was like, man, I can't let you roll around with this raggedy binder. What if I throw in a binder? If I throw in a binder, will you do it? And he's like, throw in the binder and it's good. And I'm like, I'll always be polite, and especially when trading, because nobody likes trading with a douche. Nobody likes doing that. Always trying to be like as nice as possible, and a business is business. So after you make the trade, don't like go back and say like, "Hey man, I need to get that back from you because I changed my mind. I don't want to do that." You can't do that. It's a business deal. Next thing I want to talk about is organization. Just when going to your local, make sure you have everything packed up. Like the night before I go to a local. Night before, always make sure you have all your stuff ready when your ride gets there, or like if you're driving yourself, just make sure you have all your stuff. Really, if you're going and you're just playing and you're not trading, like all you really need to bring is a deck box, and just make sure it's big enough for all of your stuff. Like make sure you got your deck, then your side deck. make sure your side deck's in the same sleeves as your main deck. That way you don't have to stall for time. You don't have to like stall time, and because nobody wants to wait 5 minutes for you to go and like take each thing out of the sleeve and then put it in your binder and then put your thing from your side deck into the sleeve and then keep doing that over and over. Nobody wants to wait that long. So just make sure you have extra sleeves, 15 extra sleeves, just put them in here. If you get a pack of like 60 if you get a pack of 60 sleeves at your locals, like I did, that should cover your main deck, your side deck, and you'll have a couple spares just in case something happens to sleeves, because it happens. Sometimes they get nicked, sometimes they'll get something marked on them or they'll bend. It happens. And also make sure you have your extra deck in preferably different colored sleeves. That way you can just have everything out. Like everybody on my team, we do all of our synchros and extra deck material in white sleeves, because occasionally we will borrow each other's stuff. So just make sure you have like all of your like if you're on a team, make sure you have every single one of your extra deck in one color, because if you go to a local, like you can just say like you can just sit down there before the local starts and just start shuffling stuff out. Just be like, this goes in your extra deck, this goes in your extra deck, I'm going to need that for my extra deck because I'm sensing a tough matchup here, I'm going to need this, and stuff like that. And so if people need to borrow things, it's okay. And that goes into, preparation, something else I wanted to talk about. Just make sure you have everything ready, because nobody wants to wait. Like if you have a ride, like when your ride gets there, make sure you're like out, like at the front of your door or like outside waiting already. Like just make sure that you're not keeping people waiting, because nobody likes to wait for people or wait for things. Like if it's unavoidable, then that's okay, but like some things, like if you wanted to take a shower, like you should have done that last night. Now you're gonna have to look like one of those people that's not sanitary, because like I don't wanna sit here and wait for you. Like I'm not gonna wait 20 minutes for you to go take a shower. Like if you're getting out of the shower, that's understandable. You were in the shower, you didn't know what time it was. Try and set an alarm for stuff like that. And then finally, it's just overall etiquette. Like when it comes to rulings, and like when it comes to a ruling, always ask your judge if you're not sure. And just make sure, like before you go to bother the judge, think about how the chain resolves, because I've been playing and like so many people have like targeted Spirit Reaper with like Book of Moon, Ryza, and stuff like that, and they're like, it gets targeted, it dies, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. Spirit Reaper only dies if it resolves face up on the field. So that's like Gale, enemy controller, Shrink, stuff like that. If you Ryza, it goes back to the top of the deck. You can't destroy something that's in the deck. If you bounce it back to my hand with Compulse, it doesn't die, it goes back to my hand. If you use Book of Moon on it, it doesn't die, it just flips face down. So just think about like the chain, how it would resolve before you even ask that question, and then go ahead and ask your judge if you're not entirely sure. Also, just try and be as like cordial as possible to your opponent, because nobody likes people being like douchey and mean for no reason. Like if you're just having a bad day. Then like when it comes to playing for cards, like if you're playing for cards, make sure you know what you're playing for before you start, because nobody wants to go, oh well, like if you play and then you lose, like you don't want to say like, oh here, I'll give you this, and like you were playing for like one of their $40 cards, and like you just give them like a $2 common, or like a $1 common or something. Like that's not cool. Like yesterday I was playing this kid. I played for some Gem Knight stuff that my friend wanted, and he's like I didn't even want anything in your binder. I'm like, you know what, I'll give you a whole page out of my binder if you beat me. And that changed his mind right there. Like, you just make sure people know what they're playing for beforehand. That way they can make their decision whether or not they want to play you. And like, I played him. He had to leave early, so he just went ahead and gave up his stuff, and I was like, that's cool, little kid. I was like, that's cool. I mean, if he had to leave, he had to leave. I wasn't gonna be like, oh, you lose, give me your stuff. So this is Team Captain, Team by Winning. Blackwing Ninja, go ahead, sub to this channel, sub to my channel, sub to everybody in the other channels box, because that's pretty much the whole team. Shoutouts to Dark Arm Monarch. Peace.